Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was a Monday Night Raw. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I'm going to say that the show itself only went 2 hours and 33 minutes. But there were times, like in the main event, that I did get a little bored, and you could feel like the crowd was kind of dying out at times as well. So I don't know exactly what the issue was. I thought the show was good. We do have some info on Penta, kind of, I wouldn't say messing up or getting heat, but not really following script. I don't know whose fault it was, whether it was him or Chad Gable, I don't know. But speaking of Penta, night one, Penta came off as a huge star. Penta was great in the match. I can see some people not liking portions of the match because it did get slow at times. But then when Penta cut that promo afterwards in both English and Spanish, I thought he came off huge. He's going to be able to do things that most aren't for WWE because he's going to be able to attract that English-speaking audience, but he's also going to be able to attract that Spanish-speaking audience in a way that I think maybe Rey Mysterio may not have even been able to in recent times. So that's just my thing there. It was also great seeing Penta's daughter in the front row crying. That was awesome.
I was wondering, like, who is this little kid
His daughter.
who's crying in the front row? I was about to say.
That was his daughter. So that was great as well. But no, Penta came off as a huge star. They popped for him 3 times during his entrance. Once when the lights went down, once when the graphics came on the screen, and then once when he walked out. Plus, I wasn't paying attention once he got in the ring, but they probably popped again there. And then they were not dumb. You do that in California, San Jose, which has a huge Hispanic demographic. So smart. LA would have been good too. But I felt like there was going to be a lot more celebrities, and the vibe of that show was different. But here you have fans. They're all fans. They're going to know who Penta is. There was one miscue from WWE for Penta, and I don't know if maybe they tried and couldn't get it. George Kittle should have been there in the front row, losing his mind. Do you know Penta is George Kittle's favorite wrestler?
I think I did know that.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I saw, I was watching a Niners game, and I saw Penta on the sidelines or something.
So number 85, tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, his favorite pro wrestler is Penta. And he's at times on different forms of media and content and stuff worn a Penta mask, but it was made up with the San Francisco 49er colors, and it had his 8 and 5 on it for his number. But then Penta has also, as you said, been to a 49ers game as his guest, wore that mask. No, he wore just a Kittle jersey with his regular black and white mask, the one where he was at the game. But I've seen Penta wear the 49er mask as well and stuff. But yeah, I thought it would have been great because they're in San Jose, which is just a stone's throw away from San Francisco. I don't know exactly where in the Bay Area Kittle lives, but it would have been great if Kittle was there wearing the 49er Penta mask, because that would have been awesome. And just, he would have been losing his mind in the front row. And then Pat McAfee could have been there. Look at this son of a bitch, Kittle losing his fucking mind. Because, Pat would have played that up big time.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that was, everything else from Penta was great. I think that was the one miscue. And I don't know, maybe they asked him and he couldn't be there. But regardless, we'll talk more about it once we, dive into the match and so forth. But I thought Penta's debut tonight was really, really good. And then just think about in 9 months or so, maybe 10, when Phoenix shows up. We don't know exactly how long. It could be 6 months. We don't know. We don't know how much time has been added to Phoenix from AEW. But just think about when Phoenix comes. Because if they're loving Penta as much as I think the fans in WWE are going to love Penta, Phoenix is even better in the ring when he's healthy.
Oh, yeah.
But Penta's going to be the mouthpiece, and I think Phoenix is going to be the workhorse when he's healthy. So as long as Phoenix can stay healthy, Lucha Bros are going to soar in WWE. Heck, I could see Penta winning the Intercontinental Championship before Phoenix even gets there. Give me Penta versus Braun Breaker.
That match at Mania? Or no, I think at Mania, honestly, I kind of want Penta to be a heel.
I mean, he's got to be a babyface at first, because the reaction he got tonight was what everybody expected, the babyface reaction. But I think eventually they turn him. But it was obvious he's going to get that babyface reaction night one. and for a little bit. So we'll see. Eventually they'll turn him. But
I mean, this one's tough because I do agree with you. Like him versus Braun Breaker, like would be awesome for the Intercontinental Championship, especially at Mania. But I feel like at Mania, I kind of want to see him versus Rey Mysterio.
I got it. The rumor is that Backlash could be in Mexico. Have him beat Breaker for the title in Mexico.
Oh.
Penta wins the Intercontinental title in Mexico in May or June, whenever they do Backlash.
Okay, so I like the idea, but I just don't know if it'll happen because I feel like because WWE, they don't really do a lot of like hometown championship wins.
That was Vince. That was Vince.
No, like, Triple H didn't do that as well.
Like with who?
Drew McIntyre.
Vince was, when you talk about, but the story worked for that though. That was
Zelina Vega.
That was Vince. Vince booked that show. That was the show after Mania 39. Vince was still booking that night. Vince was booking for another like 5-6 months. No. Vince was booking that whole year after WrestleMania 39. Vince came back at 39, vetoed Cody winning the belt, and then booked the whole rest of the year until they made him leave because of the damn lawsuit. So no, that was Vince. Zelina was Vince.
I know the Triple H one. I think the Drew McIntyre one, I'm pretty sure that was Triple H.
And which one? Clash of the Castle?
Yeah.
The first Clash?
Second one.
Second one, okay. No, that was Triple H. But that worked for the CM Punk storyline of him not winning. So that was all storyline, though. So that's why that one made more sense. That wasn't just a, like, Bayley's main... What was that? Bayley had a big title match in San Jose, and they made her lose to Alexa Bliss. That was Vince. You always lose in your hometown for the sympathy. So... Also, Elite, Penta was not rusty. Penta was just making Chad Gable look good and selling the leg. That was not him being rusty. He is perfectly fine. He was selling the leg to put over Chad Gable. Yeah. Anyways, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/PW Unlimited, Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. Go on channel, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can be just like Elite Tits did and subscribe as a channel member. Whether it's the $1 tier, the $5 tier, or so forth, we greatly appreciate it. He says 9 months, can't write in YouTube comments, screw them. I don't know what you mean by you can't write in YouTube comments, but okay. Anywho. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting some of them new kicks in Fortnite. They got new shoes. Godzilla comes on Friday, guys. You're going to use this code to get that battle pass. If you haven't done it already, we're getting Godzilla and King Kong. Well, that should be really fun. Remember, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. I believe they've added John Wick back into the shop as well today, so that's a cool one as well. But as far as all this does go, as far as that does go, Monday Night Raw opens up. We get a cool drone shot of the SAP Center. They fly in from the concourse area in through one of the entranceways to the arena floor. Very awesome. These drone shots are freaking great. And so they're in what they call the Shark Tank, or the SAP Center in San Jose, California. That is where they call it the Shark Tank because that's where the San Jose Sharks play. I don't watch a lot of hockey, but when I do, Sharks all the way.
I try to get into hockey, but I mean, I don't know. I just tried to get into it. Just couldn't get into it. I've also never really been to a hockey game.
I will say hockey's better to watch on TV than live. I've been to a couple. I've been to a couple, and it's like, by the three-quarter mark, I started getting bored every time, and I've been to like 3.
Oh, it depends.
So, we get some recaps from last week's Monday Night Raw before CM Punk then pulls up to the building in the loading area and the garage area, jumps out of a Chevy Tahoe. Shout out the Chevy Tahoe. And the camera follows him through Gorilla and out to the ring. Crowd loudly chants for CM Punk as he took it all in. He went over to a fan, grabbed their Jey Uso glasses and put those on. Went over and did some stuff with Michael Cole, Pat McAfee for a minute and whatnot. And then he grabbed a microphone and got into the ring. Actually, he jumped up on the announce table, tried to jump from the announce table to the barricade, lost his balance, and then jumped down. I was like, I'm just going to get in the ring. Almost busted his ass. So he gets in the ring. The crowd's chanting for him. And he goes, wait, 1 minute before anything, I want to thank all the brave men and women, the first responders who have been out here helping out this great state of California and fighting all these fires down south, even the ones coming from Canada, even the firefighters and first responders coming from Mexico. I want to thank all of them for trying to do what they do. Crowd cheers and pops really big for that. Crowd then, our Punk then spoke about his win over Seth Rollins, saying he's glad to have Seth behind him. He had a lot on his mind and a lot on his plate. The Royal Rumble didn't really go his way last year, thanks to his tricep blowing out. And it was his dream to win the Rumble and go to Mania. And that, he's going to do it this year. Punk mentioned John Cena declaring to be in the Rumble and goes, hey, John, old buddy, I've been able to see you this whole time. I laughed at that one. Punk said that he planned on throwing out 29 other men and winning the Royal Rumble. He told them to play my song, I'm done. And they played Seth Rollins' song. So Seth is slowly coming down to the ring. And Punk is like kind of got the mic to his mouth, but not really. And he's like kneeled down on the mat. He's like, Pat, what the hell is this guy doing coming down? I can't deal with this guy no more. What is this going? He's like talking shit with Pat McAfee about Seth Rollins. It was funny. The Rollins did get cheered by the crowd in San Jose. He removes his shades. We see the black eye. Seth over here with a black eye. They mentioned in a commentary, and Pat goes, it's from that GTS, Cole. Eventually, the crowd starts chanting for Punk when Seth tries to talk. Punk notices the black eye and kind of looks at it. Rollins reiterated what he said before. Win, lose, or draw, I will still be here on Raw every week. It didn't show. He said if he didn't show up, times were hard. That's not him. He ain't Punk. He doesn't go away for a while. He's here every week. Rollins said that he'd rather be the worst version of himself than any version of CM Punk. Rollins says that he lost a lot of matches, including at WrestleMania, but last week was the worst of his career. He was never more disappointed in himself, and never more disappointed in himself than last week when he underestimated CM Punk. He said, I lost on the biggest stage of my career. So they're trying to put over that first Raw on Netflix is bigger than any WrestleMania. If he's saying, I lost on the biggest stage of my career, he's lost at Manias. I mean, he lost to Mania twice, technically, last year. So the only way to make up for it, though, would be to take Punk's dream away and flush it down the toilet. I plan on throwing you out of the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre then comes out. So Seth, right there, declares he will be in the Rumble. Drew then comes out, interrupts, Drew reportedly moving to SmackDown eventually in this transfer window. McIntyre referred to one of them as more disgusting and selfish than ever. Punk said, last time I saw you, McIntyre, and we stood in the same ring, you were in tears, covered in blood, begging for your life. If McIntyre wanted to step into the ring with him again, it would take more than 15 stitches to close the wound. Actually, it was 16 staples, but who's counting? McIntyre said that he wasn't talking to Punk. He was talking to Rollins. Rollins extended him the invitation to come down to the ring. McIntyre said they were both so alike. McIntyre said that Rollins was all talk, no show. He talked about being a leader, but he was nowhere to be found when the tribal combat was going on last week. Where were you when Roman regained power and we lost everything? He called Rollins pathetic. Rollins said he didn't have patience for all of this. Punk's like, I don't either. You guys want to fight each other or with me? Whatever, let's go. Punk's like, I'll fight both of you. I don't care. McIntyre was like, all right. And he goes to get down to the ring. He goes, nah, never mind. Never mind. The crowd's all for this, but McIntyre ain't. McIntyre again spoke about Reigns and said that he will be the reluctant hero. While Seth did not help stop Roman from getting power last week, he did, trying to take out those that would help Roman. McIntyre then declared that he will be the savior of the WWE locker room. He will enter the Royal Rumble, throw Roman Reigns out, win the Rumble, and be closer to the title than Roman could. Basically saying that he will win the Rumble, win the title, and not let Roman anywhere near it. So in this one segment, now, most people didn't see Punk announced for the Rumble last week. It was right at the beginning of the post show. So Punk did announce last week that he was going to be in the Rumble, but then he clarified it again tonight. Seth said he's going to be in the Rumble. Drew said he's going to be in the Rumble. So those technically 3 more names for the men's Royal Rumble. What did you think of the segment?
I thought the segment was pretty good, actually. Basically, we got like 2 more people announced for the Rumble. I honestly think the men's Rumble is going to be very exciting, and it's going to be one of those Rumbles that's like going to be very hard to predict.
Now, in the next segment after this, did you hear Michael Cole say both, and this is the weird one, Jey Uso and LA Knight have declared for the Rumble as well. But yet then Jey comes out later and challenges for the world title. So yeah, he ain't winning at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that kind of just gave it away.
Yeah, when Michael Cole said, Jey Uso, he goes, we have just learned, like, it went to break and then we came back. And he's like, we have just learned that Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins will be joining, and CM Punk will be joining Roman Reigns and John Cena in the Royal Rumble. We were also told that earlier in the day, both Jey Uso and LA Knight declared for the Rumble as well. Also, are you watching on US Netflix or international Netflix? Are you getting commercials or no?
I think, yeah, I get commercials.
Okay. I'll have to show you the trick, not get commercials. Because it's a little better with no commercials. Sometimes it's weird, but like during the Lyra Valkyria match and stuff, like the women's IC title match and other matches that they went to break, we just kept on watching the action. So, and then we also got a whole segment with Bayley that you guys didn't get to see, and Bayley got the whole crowd to chant Michael Cole sucks. So, yeah. But anyways, where was I? Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Lyra Valkyrie were all shown arriving earlier in the day, and then Chad Gable comes out. And again, this is you didn't see. Chad Gable comes out. They go to break. Then they come back on international Netflix, and Chad Gable cuts a promo on the crowd. Just talking crap, basically. Nothing significant. Basically just talking crap to the crowd in San Jose and stating that he will win singles gold in 2025. So they come back, and the lights go down. Crowd pops. Graphics start popping on the screen that basically show like the graphics of Penta's mask. Crowd pops again. The music thing goes, Cero, Miedo. Penta does the thing at the top of the ramp. They pop again. And then Penta makes his way down to the ring with all of his charisma and everything. Because this man, great entrance where he does a thing where he's like smooth walking down the ring. Kind of gives me Razor Ramon vibes, like when Hall used to do that thing. Penta kind of does it in his own little way. Go for it.
I really liked like when that music said Zero Miedo, the fans like really went with it. That's where you know that that this is someone that the fans like already know, because like I know I said this for a while, like when it comes to like WWE bringing in talent to the main roster, a lot of times people kind of have that fear that like most of the fans at the live like they're live might not know who that wrestler is.
Right.
So I'm really glad that like fans there actually know who this is and really getting into it.
Yeah, because like when Penta's music was playing, you didn't know it was going to do the Sierra Miedo thing. But once it said Sierra, and you can hear the crowd go, Edo, man, like they got into it as soon as they realized, oh, this is, you're right here. So now, like in the next week or two, it's probably going to be even bigger because the fans are going to know the spot to do it. You know what I mean?
I got to listen to the theme one more time, see if I actually like it.
I only listened to it, when it was playing on the thing, and it sounded cool. I liked it. Also, did Dakota Kai get a new theme, or is that the same one she's had? It sounded different to me.
I think she got a new theme.
Because it had lyrics and everything. And I don't think I've heard her have lyrics before.
She's never had lyrics.
Yeah, because hers had lyrics. And I was like, oh, this sounds new. Anyways, funny. So they do the Sierra Miedo, and then Penta like jumps up and whatever. And Michael Cole goes, it's the worst kept secret in the business. It's Penta. I was like, yeah, everybody knew. Everybody knew.
WWE even spoiled it like before we all started.
Oh, this morning I woke up and I got like a bunch of DMs. Hey, they put Penta's merch on sale already. I'm like, oh, okay. They were selling it at the building too, even before the show started. There were people in the front row already holding the T-shirts.
Maybe, maybe that was the trick to actually get fans more engaged in it, so people can actually do their research of who the guy is and stuff.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe WWE did that on purpose.
Maybe, but regardless, the show was sold out even before today. So, like, I heard they had like just a handful of tickets remaining.
No, but like,
no, I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
They
did the same for Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh yeah. So basically, they had a WWE style match, but Penta got to do most of his signature stuff. He didn't do the pile driver. But he did do a Canadian destroyer that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee called the Mexican destroyer. He did the Penta driver. He did the sacrifice, the arm snap deal. So, like, Penta did his stuff. Oh, we'll get to it. But at one point, I thought Chad Gable accidentally almost killed Penta when he didn't catch him on the flip dive. But anyways, Penta comes out wearing black, white, and red. His daughter's in the front row. And yeah, they go pretty good early on. They have a little back and forth exchange, which leads to a stalemate, and the crowd's chanting Penta. Penta tries to do the Sierra Miedo at one point. He goes, Sierra! But when he goes to go down, Chad Gable grabs his arm and like twists it around and stuff. Penta then seemingly maybe messed up a springboard leg drop. I'm not sure. It looked a little off, but then Gable cut him off and hit a suplex. Penta came back with a super kick and a corner handstand into a drop kick. Penta then ducked a right hand and Gable ducked a right hand and gave Penta a German suplex on the apron. Gable smashed his leg against the ring post, and Penta sold the leg very well. Crowd's chanting, "You suck," at Chad Gable. Penta avoided a diving headbutt at one point and hit a super kick. Gable cut him off again, suplexing him into the turnbuckle. Penta came back with a sling blade, flip dive, and a backstabber for a 2. Gable responded with a German suplex for a 2 of his own. Penta then came back with the Canadian destroyer that they called the Mexican destroyer. And no Elite. They didn't change the name because Chelsea Green's Canadian and does a Canadian destroyer. It's just, they just changed it. Probably a Pat McAfee thing, just started yelling Mexican destroyer. But Gable took a great bump from the destroyer. The crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome" at this point. Penta finally did the Sierra Miedo right in Gable's face before kicking Gable in the face. Gable then did hit a dragon screw and applied an ankle lock. They did a good little spot here where like Penta's almost going to tap, and he's getting out of it. He reverses it, gets Gable on his stomach, grabs the arm, the hammerlock arm breaker deal. They call it the sacrifice, and he pulls the arm back. Chad Gable sells it like his arm might be broken. They both get to their feet. Penta grabs him for the Penta driver, 1, 2, 3, pins him, and picks up the victory. So Penta defeats Chad Gable in his WWE debut. Now, before we talk about post-match, what do you think of the match itself? Also, I forgot to mention the spot. Penta went for a big, huge-ass dive. Chad Gable's maybe 2 steps to the left, too much, and Penta crashed on the floor.
Oh, yeah, the match was awesome. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome, but, like, do you remember when Penta was in Lucha Underground and he did that, like, that arm snap, and, like, when he did the snap, they had, like, that crunch sound effect? I was like, oh, God, that was awesome.
Right.
That just made me think of that, like, moment. I was like, oh, God, I just remember, like, that move was actually pretty effective.
Oh, 100%. So after the match, Jackie Redmond interviews Penta. He thanked her and the fans. He called WWE his new home. He said everyone had been waiting for this. But the truth was, he had been waiting for this as well. He then spoke in Spanish, which I do have the captions because Netflix actually got the captions up already for that, for the English version. You can, like, literally already, before the show was even over, you could rewind, go back and see the captions for him speaking in Spanish, which is great. He shouted out his family in the front row, some of whom, especially his daughter, were crying. He said, this is a new era in WWE. They call this the Netflix era, but this is the Penta new era. And the crowd cheered. Some of the stuff he did say in Spanish, he said, and to all my people from Mexico and all of Latino America. Hold on, I got the captions here. He said, thank you for joining me in this journey to get to WWE. For all those who know, for those who don't know, this is the result of a Mexican who wants to move forward, people. Thank you to my family who's here. I love you. Before I go, I want to say a few things. And then he started speaking in English here. And then he said again in Spanish, because I am Penta. Zero miedo. So, really cool. Awesome. Came off as a huge star. The crowd in San Jose ate it all up. They treated him like a big star. So, yeah, no. I thought this was super effective. And the more we see of Penta, the more over I think he's going to get with the WWE audience.
We actually got a raid in the Twitch chat from Epis Radio. Welcome, Party of 5. Welcome in, Raiders.
Thank you for that one. Really do appreciate that. Also, we do a gifted tier 1 subscription from Epis Radio. Zero Soru gifted a tier 1 sub to Epis Radio. Thank you for that. Give them a shout out really fast. Shout out.
So for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Luke. This is Tim. Tim is the host. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We review episodes of Raw, SmackDown, and AEW as well. We do pay-per-views as well. Mainly just all about wrestling here.
Give that.
So if you like,
go for it.
So if you like the content, please hit that follow button. Or if you want to sponsor the content as well, you could also subscribe with tier 1, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can do that as well.
So moving forward, well, yeah, no. Any closing thoughts on the Penta stuff? Because I do want to read. Go for it, and I'm going to pull up that article I was reading to you earlier from PW Insider.
I thought the promo was pretty good. It was very emotional.
Oh yeah, it felt real.
Yeah, it felt real, and it felt more real when it has daughter crying. But this basically just came off as he's going to be a babyface for a while.
Oh, for sure, because even if they tried to make him a heel at the start, he was going to get this babyface reaction.
Fans are going to cheer for him regardless because fans just love Penta.
Yes. Now, we have some news on Penta's debut from Mike Johnson of PW Insider as he does write the following. Penta, identified as former Lucha Underground champion. Also, I forgot to mention that. Michael Cole called him a former TNA champion, a former Lucha Underground champion. I'm like, hot damn. We are in a new era of WWE. Anyways, debuting on tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, defeating Chad Gable before cutting a promo post-match in the ring. His family was shown sitting in the front row. The WWE audience in San Jose was very familiar with Penta and his catchphrase. That's for sure. Now here's the thing. We have had readers ask whether Penta was hurt during the bout, but in asking around, we are told he was selling the leg. We did confirm that between the 13-minute match and the post-match promo, Penta went way longer than he was initially planned to go, which led to time being trimmed from other segments later in the show. There were some talents obviously not thrilled about this, as you can imagine. That said, we are told management was happy with the debut and with Penta's reaction live. WWE already has a ton of new merchandise for Penta on sale. We are told internally they were happy with the early merch numbers as well. Great to hear. He is officially on the Raw brand. So great things to hear that management really liked how everything went and the live reaction that he got. Again, like I said, San Jose was a great place to bring him in because he's done a lot of wrestling in the Bay Area. And good to hear that he's really doing good merch numbers. All they've got so far is 2 shirts, a hoodie, and a mask. But hey, if it's working, it's working.
I'm pretty sure they had 2 masks.
So as of this morning, when they first posted the merch, there was only 1 mask. If they've added a second one since, I haven't seen that.
So as of right now on shop, I think the hoodie's been sold out. So
Damn.
They only got 2 shirts and the mask.
Oh yeah, the hoodie's gone already. Ha, damn. So the hoodie is just the same thing as the white T-shirt. Penta on the front and the logo on the back.
If they're selling that at the Royal Rumble, like a shirt, I'm gonna try to get one.
Oh, I would assume, especially if they're selling this good. If they're selling this good, they're gonna bring Penta merch. That mask is $75. Hot shit.
So, question: when was the last time you went to a WWE show?
Last time I went to a WWE show?
Yeah, any show, any WWE show.
2023 live event for WWE.
Do you feel like
no?
I thought it was No Mercy.
No, that was like a year and a half ago. That was 2 years ago. No, I went to a WWE live event last year in February because me and the kids, I remember now, it was a live event where it was like 10,000 people at a live event. It was like one of the biggest live events they had done in a long time. This freaking place was sold out in Fresno, and we decided to go like an hour before it started. So I remember that. That was last year. Anyways, what's your question?
Do you feel like anytime WWE is holding a show, whether that's a Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view, do you feel like they should have more merch stands? Because I feel like they only have 2 for every show.
So I remember. So whenever I go, they only have 2. They should have a third one, but that also is contingent on the building. They don't. Sometimes there's only room for 2. Sometimes they only got the area where they can do 2. I remember back in the day, 2008, 2009, WWE would also have a merch trailer outside selling gear 2 hours before the show even starts.
Because the last time, I was at SmackDown 2023. I think that was the go home SmackDown for Fastlane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember before the show started, I was like, all right, I kind of want to get some merch, but they only had 2 stands and the line was packed.
Always.
And I'm just yeah, this isn't even worth it.
Yeah, go for it.
It's I'm just going to go sit in my seat and just wait for the show to start.
So that really depends on the venue itself. Because I remember I went to an NXT one time and it was in a small venue where they barely had enough room for 1 merch stand.
No, I was at NXT in St. Louis. That's when they just moved to the CW network.
Right.
They only had 1 stand, and my mom was like,
"Yep,
I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Text me if you want a T-shirt." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, because I went to it was 2013, I want to say. It was when Joe and Nakamura were feuding in NXT. And
That wasn't 2013.
When was that? What was that?
That was 2016.
Was it really that late? Oh, I can tell you right now.
It had to be 2016 or 2017. It had to be.
I can tell you exactly. I can just look up the show. Oh, damn. Was this 2019?
No, Nakamura was already on the main roster in 2019.
Yeah, this is marked wrong. Hold on. This one's marked wrong.
Like Nakamura was like facing AJ at Mania in 2018.
It was nope, that ain't it. 2016, October 27th, 2016. Yeah, that was so like in Fresno. I don't know why, but NXT didn't run the big building at the college. They ran the old normal arena building, which is small, which maybe sits like 7,000. And they had maybe like 2,000 in there. But like the food area and the concourse is really small. They barely had room for one merch stand there.
What was that college they would always like shoot NXT at in Orlando?
Oh, Full Sail.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
Yeah, Full Sail University.
Those were honestly the days.
Let me see who was on this show. Yeah, it was NXT. So the main event was NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura and No Way Jose against Samoa Joe and Austin Aries. That was the main event of this live event. You want to know how long ago this was? Oni Lorcan versus Patrick Clark. He wasn't even Velveteen Dream yet. Ember,
I think he was only.
Go for it.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
I'm pretty sure he was just Patrick Clark for like one NXT show. Then they changed him to Velveteen Dream.
Here you go. Before she was Sonya Deville, Ember Moon and Daria defeated Mandy Rose and Aaliyah.
Jeez.
Buddy Murphy defeated Wesley Blake. NXT Women's Champion Asuka defeated Peyton Royce. Authors of Pain defeated TM61 and Bobby Roode defeated Ty Dillinger.
TM61. I remember when they changed that name to the Mighty.
Yeah. Well, that's what TM was supposed to be, the Mighty 61. They're killing it in New Japan.
No, but like they changed him to the Mighty.
Oh, no,
so
yeah, I know.
Heels.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that was long ago. That's, I think, that was, yeah, only one of 2 NXT shows I've been to.
My goal is to one day go to a Mania.
Mania's fun. And I'll say, no matter where you sit, I had a great time. And I was like almost as far back as you can be at Levi's Stadium.
I would say my closest chance of going to Mania is once they hit Indianapolis.
Right. So what were you say?
It's probably gonna be next year. Mm-hmm. My guess.
That's what I would assume. So moving forward, Judgment Day met in the back. This was kind of weird. What were you gonna say?
I think we had some bit donations. You said we were gonna read first.
No, we didn't get any. Oh, we do. I did not see those. Thank you for reminding me. Muscle Man sent in 2 bit donations. Thank you for that. He says, "What are some big surprises you think could happen in the Rumble?" Actually, it's a good question for Luke, who's going to be there. What are some big surprises you could see in the Rumble? NXT wrestlers, maybe new debuts. Also, what are other matches you could see at the Rumble? So I think only one more match is going to announce for the Rumble, because last year they did 4 and they already have 3. But who do you think could show up in the Rumble that's unexpected?
So we'll start with the NXT names. I think for the women's side, good chance we see Roxanne Perez, because I think Roxanne Perez is going to go up to the main roster soon. Oh,
I think the Rumble can be her call up like Tiffany was last year.
Yeah, I think for Roxanne, the Rumble is going to be her call up. Maybe one more NXT woman. I'm trying to think who.
I had some people mad at me last night because I said Cora Jade ain't ready for the main roster.
Nah, I don't think she is either. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think she is either. She's great.
Someone in the chat goes, but Cora's been in NXT longer than Roxanne. And I'm like, and Roxanne was main roster ready almost when she showed up in NXT.
Well, Cora Jade's just been injured a lot, though. She needs to stay healthy.
Well, that, and she's kind of been a little off her game a little bit since returning from the injury, too.
Maybe Kalani Jordan?
Not as a call up. Maybe just to do a spot.
Probably just do like gymnastic stuff.
Yes, because she is not ready for the main roster. Because if you watch her matches, if it is not a fully scripted out match, like move for move, she gets lost easily.
What about Wendy Chu?
If they were going to bring Wendy Chu up, they would have done that already. She's been in NXT way too long.
No, I'm just talking about like just as like a one-time thing.
No, we want to keep on the women's Rumble side of things. I'll say, my brain just died. Hold on, Mickie James.
Hardcore country.
So somebody posted on Twitter the other day and goes, "What about when this music hits for the Rumble?" And it's her old WWE theme. And she responded to the tweet and goes, "That's the wrong song," and didn't shoot it down. She just said wrong theme song.
I was there when she had that music as like the Knockouts champion in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I was there when it happened. People were like wanting her to win.
Right. But also, here's my thing. Jordynne Grace. Does she show up in the Rumble? And if she does that mean she's main roster or not? I think she's main roster ready. She don't need NXT.
I can see it being main roster ready, kind of like a Jade Cargill was.
Mm-hmm.
I can see her just debuting, maybe like shooting some vignettes like Jordynne Grace is coming.
Oh, they should really. Well, so Jordynne finishes up with TNA this weekend. After that, she can sign and they can start promoting her. I think it would be great if they do like vignettes of like her, we'll know it's her because she's doing her poses and it's like from behind and like silhouettes and it just says Royal Rumble and it's like her posing, doing her poses and whatnot. And it's just a tease, just like at the Royal Rumble. Like, ooh, that'd be great. John Elite, nope. Aleister Black is not available until late February, early March, so he could not be in the Royal Rumble. Joe Hendry, possible. Do any men that you think could show up in the Rumble?
I think Trick Williams, because I think that could be his main roster call up, because I think he's getting called up soon.
Yeah, he's done just about everything he can in NXT.
Ethan Page, maybe?
I don't even know why they put Ethan Page in NXT to start. He was main roster ready from the jump.
Hey, NXT kind of needs some
true
male star power, though.
They teased it last week with The Rock, though, when The Rock's like, "Hey, I can't wait to see you eventually on the main roster." He said it to Ethan Page.
They got some big plans for Ethan Page on the main roster.
Hopefully,
if you have him doing a segment with The Rock, WWE might have something big for him.
Yeah, but apparently everything they did with The Rock last week was kind of just last minute plans. Rock didn't even know he was going to say, legit. That segment where Rock told Ava, "I don't know what I'm going to say," was legit because he didn't know what to say. They just said, "Go out there." They didn't give him any plans, any script, any bullet points. They just said, "Go out there. You got about 7 minutes." Go for it.
Yeah, I think the two for the men would probably be Trick Williams and Ethan Page.
There's a chance Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry would be cool, but I know I told you this before, but I kind of feel like his star power has gone down a little bit. Though, because
here's the thing. I think it would be awesome if he beats Nick Nemeth this weekend for the TNA World Championship and then shows up at the Rumble with the TNA World Championship.
That would be cool, actually. That would be cool.
Yes, because he's fighting for the belt of Genesis.
In 2022, didn't someone pitch Moose being in the Rumble, but Vince didn't know who he was?
I vaguely heard something about that, but then at the same time, I feel like I also heard that Moose's name was thrown out there, but not anything legit. It was more of just hey, if we're gonna use Mickey, why not get a guy as well? And here's one of their top guys. Here's the name of one of their top guys. But yeah, something like that. You may be right, but I just heard it basically was his name was kind of slid in, but not as anything serious.
I think he was shot down because Vince just didn't know who he was.
Probably. Muscleman also has another bit donation. He says 2025 is going to be a big year for WWE when it comes to free agent signing. First Penta, then maybe others like Malachi, Jordynne Grace, Josh Alexander, and Ricky Starks. So The Josh Alexander one is very interesting because I think it was yesterday, missed a indie booking and posted he was sorry that he missed it, and it was the last time he was going to be able to work for them. I forget what the promotion was. Let me see. Alexander, Twitter. It was Prestige Wrestling. He said, sadly, I cannot make it to Prestige Wrestling tonight for what would have been my last indie match for the foreseeable future. This one's completely out of my hands. Due to international travel issues, I cannot appear tonight. I am disappointed as everyone else. I'm as disappointed as everybody else. Last night was supposed to be his last indie date. What does that mean? WWE bound? Because it's not TNA. I mean, well, not TNA. Duh, he left TNA. He's leaving TNA. But that's not AEW because they let their guys do indie dates. So is that mean Josh is coming to WWE?
Would you want to see him and Ethan Page as a tag team on the main roster? The North?
Yes.
Or do you have him start out in NXT first?
Yes and no. I want to see them together, only for Ethan to turn on him pretty quickly. Josh be the babyface, Ethan be the heel, and go, I was here before you. I'm the bigger star. You came here and latched on to me. Screw you. Something like that. I don't know. That's how I would book it.
I want him to start out in NXT first because NXT needs that male star power.
Oh, no. They could do it either in NXT or the main roster. But I'm just saying. Like, I want to see them together only for, after only a couple of weeks, Ethan Page to turn on him.
Ooh, I got it. Do it in NXT. Have Ethan Page turn on him. Do like one match and have Josh Alexander beat him. And that can be like Ethan Page's send off to the main roster.
That's a great idea right there. He also says Ricky Starks. Ricky will probably go to WWE. We don't know what his contract status is right now with AEW. That's a weird one. Kind of like Phoenix. Another weird one. But
someone else said, like, don't forget Tessa Blanchard, Moose, and Joe Hendry. I don't think WWE wants Tessa Blanchard. Like, if I'm being completely honest.
Now, I don't know. But remember, Tessa was in that first Mae Young Classic. And they used her a number of times for NXT stuff. But they never signed her, which is the interesting, weird thing. Like, you could tell that they liked her, but for some reason they never signed her. I was always kind of like flabbergasted by that.
Moose, nah, I think Moose is probably going to stay in TNA.
Well, Moose re-signed with TNA last year, so he's TNA. He's not leaving anytime soon. He signed a new deal.
Joe Hendry, maybe?
I think his deal's up in summertime, mid-2025, if I remember correctly.
The thing with Joe Hendry, though, like, if he signs with WWE, is his popularity still going to, like, be as good as it once was?
I mean, it's possible.
Because that's the tricky part. Because I feel like if once he signs with WWE, does a little bit of stuff, fans are probably going to get bored of him.
Let's see. Joe Hendry's contract, if I have this info. TNA, Joe Hendry. I don't have Joe Hendry's contract info. Last we knew, Josh Alexander's contract was up on Valentine's Day with TNA, though. So he's got 1 month. Which, if that's correct, that was the last I had heard. If that's correct, he will not be in the. He will not be eligible for the Rumble unless TNA allows it. Oh, Joe Hendry through the end of 2025.
I could see TNA possibly allowing Alexander be in the Rumble, possibly.
But would they let a guy go there knowing that he's leaving us? Possibly go there? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's no different than letting some of their wrestlers already be in negotiations with like other companies, like an AEW.
But when did they do that?
Mike Bailey, Deonna Purrazzo.
No, I don't think they were in quote unquote discussions before their contracts were up, though.
They let them like talk with other companies, though.
Getting back to Raw, as we were talking about the Rumble for a good 20 minutes. Judgment Day was shown backstage, and this was a little awkward. Finn sarcastically told Liv Morgan she would be champion again one day. Morgan said she was at least successful at taking a piece of Rhea Ripley with her. Dominic showed up. So Balor said, speaking of taking things, you might want to sort things out with this guy back here. Dom had flowers for her and tried to explain what happened last week. Morgan acted like she wasn't upset and told him grab her bags and the valet would be ready. She then said, Carly, and she threw the flowers at Carlito and said, do something with these. She left with Raquel. Dom was blissfully unaware, told Balor everything was good. He offered Balor some help tonight in the street fight. Balor told him to worry about your girl and go get her bags. They're breaking this group up quick. I think it's going to be Liv, Raquel, and Dom going one way, and then Finn, Carlito, and JD going their other way. Who gets the name? I don't know. Probably Finn. Who keeps the Judgment Day name?
I feel like they should call like Finn JD something else.
You can always go back to Balor Club. They got that. I got the shirt. It's right over there. I got the Balor Club shirt.
They can, just call them the Balor Club and just have like Carlito do something on his own, maybe.
I'd leave Carlito with them. I think Carlito's good with them.
You can just sit there and just be like, cool.
Granted, I think it's because him and Dom have a good like on-screen chemistry, but him and JD really do as well too. I think the little like in the background little things that him and JD do are pretty good together. Scott Kelly interviewed the PCF, Pure Fusion, or PFC, Pure Fusion Collective. They said what they did to Kairi Sane was a message to everyone in the division, including anyone considering moving here via the transfer portal. They said that they wanted to become the IC champion, yet they're not. So, yeah. Then Daniel Cormier and Braun Breaker were shown in the crowd. That's really cool. Daniel Cormier, huge WWE fan. You ever see the video of Daniel Cormier losing his mind when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank at Mania 31?
I don't think I've seen that video.
He's in the crowd. And when Seth's music hits and he runs down with the briefcase, Daniel Cormier loses it. So then we had a 9-minute match. It was Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. Not a bad match. I thought it was okay. Could have been better if I'm going to be completely honest. It was 9 minutes and I felt like not a lot really happened. So about a minute or so in, they went to a break. But if you're watching internationally, you got to see it. Or if you know how to get it internationally, you got to see it. Kaiser grabbed a shillelagh, but Sheamus nailed a knee strike for her too. Kaiser cut him off and went back on the offense, but Sheamus nailed a brogue kick for a pinfall victory. Again, not much to this match at all. Like, not much really happened. Sheamus afterwards looked at Braun Breaker in the crowd. They went face to face. Braun shoved him, but a referee got between them and stopped everything. We then learn later in the night that these two will fight for the Intercontinental Championship January 25th, Saturday night's main event. What do you think of all this?
I mean, Jey ain't winning.
Huh? Who?
Wait, what'd you say?
Talk about Sheamus.
Oh, I thought you said Saturday night's main event. I kind of maybe think it's Jey.
Sheamus challenging Braun Breaker for the IC title at Saturday night's main event.
I mean, as much as I want Sheamus to win it, I don't think it's happening.
So you heard what Sheamus, did you hear what Sheamus said about winning the IC title in the Chris Van Vliet interview?
I have not been watching like the recent Chris Van Vliet interviews.
So Sheamus was asked, all you need is the Intercontinental Championship to be the Grand Slam champion. He goes, yes, but also that would make me the ultimate Grand Slam champion because that would mean that Sheamus has won everything. Every belt, King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. If Sheamus wins the IC title, he would be the ultimate Grand Slam champion, winning everything possible in WWE. Main roster wise. He never won anything NXT.
Jeez, I didn't even think about that.
Yep. He said, but if he never does, he never does. If he does, though, that would be great to have on the resume. Kathy Kelly asked Seth Rollins about McIntyre. Rollins owed him one from WrestleMania and said next week could be fun. They did set up Seth Rollins versus, all of a sudden, My mouth got super dry. I set up Seth Rollins versus McIntyre for next week on Raw. Sami Zayn approached Rollins and offered an ear if he ever wanted to talk, especially after the tough loss. Rollins said last week was rough for him, but it was great for Zayn. His boy Reigns got the follow back. Zayn helped him last week, just like he did at War Games. Rollins wondered if Zayn would keep helping Roman until he wins the belt, or if he would help himself. This was the only time we saw Sami Zayn. We see him a little bit later as well. Jackie Redmond interviewed JD McDonough and Carlito and asked about the tension growing between Liv Morgan and Finn Balor. JD called her a spin doctor like the rest of the media. Redmond wasn't trying to cause any drama and asked about Dom being in the doghouse. McDonough dismissed her. Carlito acted like he couldn't hear her question. Very weird, but okay. So then, a very pissed off Karrion Kross comes out of Adam Pearce's office and basically says, Miz, why didn't you tell me the Wyatt Six have been moved to SmackDown? So, Wyatt Six are now on SmackDown per the transfer portal. And Kross hoped that Miz had nothing to do with this happening. Sami Zayn would then walk up and said, hey, Adam in his office. Kross was all mad. And yeah, there was a tension between Kross and Zayn, and then Miz tried to chime in, and Miz said something about world title. You don't know anything about a world title. I'm a 2-time world champion. And then they all like laughed and giggled and whatnot. Zayn then said, this is not the first time Sammy's done this in the last couple of weeks. He goes, I was going to talk to the GM about something, but never mind. I'm going to talk to him about having a match with you. Because he was on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and he walks in to talk to Nick Aldis and was like, Nick, I know we're supposed to be here to talk about something else, but how about you give me a match with Carmelo Hayes instead? So I'm like, what the hell is this stuff that Sammy keeps wanting to talk to the GM about and then says, screw it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hang on. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw something. Oh, actually, we just got a super chat.
Yep. Go for it.
Said, so they got rid of the rematch clause, huh? They've gotten rid of those for a while.
I don't know if they got rid of it per se, but WWE has always been wishy-washy on that. Sometimes people will get it, sometimes people won't. It's just always been kind of whatever we're feeling in the moment kind of thing. Does it fit the story going forward?
I know at one point they like completely got rid of it, and like Triple H, there was like back when Seth was like Intercontinental Champion, he lost it to
wasn't that
Ziggler
2018 maybe?
Yeah, that was 2018. Like Seth lost the Intercontinental Championship to Ziggler, and Triple H came out and said, "Sorry, Seth, we got a new rule. Once you lose the belt, you're done. You don't get a rematch."
Yeah, but then also in recent times they've done the rematch thing, so I don't know. Because like what the rule always was you're the champion, you lose the title. You can get a rematch as long as the person that beat you is still the champion. So it's like Seth could not get a rematch for the world title after Mania because he lost it to Drew. 5 minutes later, Drew lost it to Priest. He couldn't challenge Priest because Priest ain't the one that beat him. That's how the rule used to be, at least.
And someone, the YouTube chat said Liv should get a rematch.
I mean, technically.
You think she should?
No. But, I mean, if you want to go off technically if the rematch rule is still a thing, then yeah.
Kid Vicious, that was 2016 where Seth won and lost it to Dean Ambrose / Mox. We were talking about like past Mania where he lost it to Drew, then Drew lost to Priest. But technically, Seth did get a rematch though for that. For the 2016 one where he lost it to Ambrose. Same with Reigns.
Yeah. Right. Well, that ended up being a triple threat.
Yeah, they ended up being triple threat. So technically, both of them got a rematch.
Yep. Moving forward, Gunther made his way out to the ring wearing a nice looking suit and the world belt. He was impressed with the spectacle of last week's show and said, quote, when it comes to the performance in the ring, I was less impressed with what I saw. He said aside from him, He wished they had a roster that could fulfill his highest expectations. Everyone fought over drama and who wants to be, quote, the head of the table or, quote, the best in the world. The only thing that matters is the World Heavyweight Championship. And no one seemingly can step up to me and challenge for it. Now comes Jey Uso wearing a dope as shit Yeet San Jose Shark shirt. That shirt was awesome. It was the Sharks color, like bluish green. It said Yeet across the top, had the Sharks logo down here. Whoop, boy, that was great. That was great.
I don't think they sell that shirt on WWE Shop. I'm sure that was probably just the in-stadium thing.
It was hey, you're in San Jose, buy the San Jose merch.
Tonight only type of thing.
Yep. Unfortunately. Anyways, comes out, huge reaction from the crowd. Jey said, McIntyre and the Bloodline, they're behind me. I want to challenge you for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. Gunther said that he knew he wouldn't hold this title forever, but he also knows that Jey is not the guy to take it from him. They wrestled twice over the IC title, and, well, Gunther beat him both times. Gunther knew what Jey was capable of, and it was, well, a lot less than trying to beat me. He said, Jey, you're entertaining, but Gunther is going to expose you for nothing more than being a great tag team wrestler. He said, quote, main event is just a nickname. He said, but it is where I belong. He said, at Saturday night's main event, sure, that sounds good, but be advised, is that a wise choice? And Gunther leaves the ring. Jey then cuts a very great, from the heart, emotional sounding promo. Jey said, everything you said just now, that was true. He spoke about the doubters, people saying he couldn't do it on his own. And he admitted that he was scared to leave the family, trying to earn the respect of everybody the way he has. So yeah, Saturday night's main event, I'm going to also gain your respect. I'm going to beat your ass for the world title. He said, and as far as my answer does go, everybody say it with me. 3, 2, 1, yeet! And Gunther was actually, seemingly, amused by all of this. Jey was really good. Gunther, of course, was great. But I loved how when Jey started to cut that promo after Gunther walked out of the ring, you can hear him get choked up. It was good. Any thoughts?
Oh, yeah, it was a pretty good promo. I liked it.
Jey got a chance?
No.
No. Especially an hour earlier, Michael Cole tells us that Jey's in the Rumble.
Yeah. Basically already tells you he ain't got a chance.
Exactly.
Good match, don't get me wrong. It'll be a fun match. But yeah, he ain't winning. Where is like Saturday night's main event? The next one's gonna be at
San Antonio, Texas. Michael Cole's hometown. And Michael Cole did confirm him and Pat are on commentary for that.
It's Saturday night.
So did you see what got posted and then unposted by Peacock today about Saturday night's main event?
What?
So this morning, Peacock posted the list of known WWE, PLE, and big shows going forward throughout the year. The next two, not this upcoming January one, but the next two Saturday night's main event were placed on that list. It said May 24th, which is Memorial Day weekend, which presumably would be the day before AEW Double or Nothing. No locations posted, though. Then the other one, July 12th. July 12th is the same day as AEW All in Texas. So presumably, because since they were posted this morning, Peacock's pulled the dates. But presumably, we could get AEW All In and WWE Saturday Night's main event head to head on the same night.
That'll be cool.
I mean, gotta watch them both?
Probably not.
I'm trying to find that list again because I believe they were posted this morning, and then when I went to look again this afternoon, I want to say they were pulled down. But now I can't find the link. Hold on. Let me go Peacock. Is it this one right here? I think it's this link. No. Hold on. I know what to do. It is. Here it is. I think this is it. Okay, so yeah, it has been pulled. It's no longer listed. Those dates are no longer listed on there. Interesting. They were there this morning. They're not there anymore. Because if we do this, I'm going to pull up this image here. Let's go from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics' tweet. Oh, I think we lost Luke. But I'm going to show you guys this anyways. Oh, we got Luke back. So, you good? Can you not hear me? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You might not be able to hear me. Oh, I muted myself in Discord by accident.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck happened?
Okay, so let's pull this up on the screen really fast just to show you guys. So this one here on the left was from this morning. Oh, we got to make Luke full screen again. There we go. So this one here on the left was from this morning. As you see, it's a Saturday night's main event with the 2 dates, May 24th, May 12th. And this was a screenshot posted by, and I'll give the credit, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. Well, when you go to peacock.com/sports/WWE now, they're gone. They are no longer listed, but they do have the next January Saturday night's main event up there. So, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Kayla Braxton. No, not Kayla Braxton. What the hell? Why did I write Kayla? Kathy Kelly.
Kayla Braxton's gone, I'm pretty sure.
I know. For some reason, I wrote Kayla instead of Kelly. Kathy Kelly interviewed Bayley in front of her hometown crowd. You only saw this if you're watching the international version of Netflix. Bayley spoke about how much this building means to her. She put over Penta and says, I got a title match this Friday with Tiffany Stratton. She also put over Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai despite their history. And then she got the crowd to chant, Michael Cole's an idiot with her. Speaking of Lyra and Dakota, they had an 8.5-minute match for the Intercontinental Championship, Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to say it right now. This did not feel as important as that women's U.S. title match. I mean, I don't know how you felt about it. What were your overall thoughts about this match? Because I felt like in the end, it's just like, oh, Lyra's a champion now. Lyra's the first women's IC champ. But it didn't feel important or like it had any real significance.
I feel like the match kind of felt a little rushed.
Well, as we know, Penta went long and things got changed around. They only got 8.5 minutes. And the crowd wasn't like fully into it for a lot of the match. That could have been it too. That this crowd in San Jose felt like, to me at least, weren't fully invested in the match.
Probably that might have been it.
Yeah, I think it was that. It was the crowd. Also, you ever have cups that's got like vinyl designs or whatever on the front? Don't put them in your dishwasher. Kids put my Ric Flair cup in the dishwasher and ruined it.
Oh, you're supposed to hand wash those?
I mean, this is what happens when it ran into the dishwasher. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was that or I don't know. But it's all falling off and flaking off now.
That sucks.
It came in a 4-pack because it was Ric Flair, Macho, Piper, and I can't remember who the other one was. There's 4 in the pack. Flair, Macho Man, Piper. Damn, I can't remember who the 4th one was. Oh well. So as far as Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai does go, they kind of traded back and forth early on before they started fighting on the apron, where right before they went to a break, Lyra gave Kai a huge vertical suplex off the apron where Dakota hit hard. Her back just splat. Kai fought back after the break, hitting a running boot in the corner and flipping backstabber for a 2. Valkyria blocked a GTK and hit a running sit-out powerbomb for a 2. Valkyria then followed this up with an ankle or an axe kick and got a 2 off of it. Kai responded with a scorpion kick, a diving double foot stomp, and a GTK. Valkyria rolled out of the ring before Kai can go for the pin. Valkyria dodged a running boot in the corner, basically a haluva kick, and hit a sling blade. Valkyria then followed this up with a Nightwing and got the victory, becoming the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. So there we go. Lyra Valkyria is the first Women's Intercontinental Champion. Again, I felt like the match was good. The two worked really well together. But if I think it was for me, it was the lack of crowd engagement and crowd involvement. The crowd just really took this down a little bit, if I'm going to be honest. Adam Pearce was there to present her with the belt, and she posed as fireworks went off. Again, I felt like when Chelsea won the women's U.S. title, it just felt bigger. What do you think?
The ending kind of ripped my heart out because I really wanted Dakota Kai to win. I really like Dakota Kai.
Me too.
Wanted her to win so bad. The ending kind of just ripped my heart out.
No, when I made my early predictions and throughout, I was like Dakota. But then last week, I don't know if you listened to my review last week, I had gotten word that, hey, the winner of the IC belt is a former singles champion, and that's not Dakota Kai because she's only held tag gold. Skylar Kelly interviewed the New Day backstage, and she asked them about it. Go for it.
But I will say this: Lyra Valkyria deserves it.
Oh yeah.
Not trying to take this moment from her. I think she could do some great things with it. We don't know, but God, I really just wanted Dakota to win so bad.
Right. So, Kathy Kelly's backstage with the New Day. They were mad at Rey Mysterio for talking crap about them and all this kind of stuff and whatnot. And she's like, hey, why haven't we seen you guys wrestle? And they're like, you know what? We'll wrestle next week. We'll be back in the ring next week. And she asked them to talk a little more. And they're like, no, every time we want to talk, you tell us you don't got time for us. So we don't got time for you, Kathy. And then Kelly was about to follow up. And then Woods was like, we're out of time. And they left. So they didn't say who they're facing, but Woods, Kofi, New Day, they're in action next week in Dallas. You think it's Ray and somebody?
Possibly.
I would go Ray. I would go Ray Dragon Lee.
Yeah, that's probably just a safer route. That's probably what I would do.
So, we had a 4-minute match here. Sami Zayn just defeated The Miz really quick. That's really all it was. Pat McAfee couldn't say Blue Thunder Bomb to save his freaking life. I thought that was funny. He kept saying like Blue Thunder Dome, Thunder Bomb, and Michael Cole's like, "You think you're back in your studio, the Thunder Dome, Pat?" I thought that was funny. Also, speaking of Pat and his show, I don't know if it's just because they've been in California the last 2 weeks, but Pat's done his show the last 2 Mondays from the building WWE is in. Well, that's kind of cool. That'd be a cool thing if he does it every week, like he would do with College Game Day. But I don't know, because before he wouldn't have to do that. But I think it's because they're on the West Coast. It's just easier for him to get there the night before and do a show from there instead of, trying to get a flight from Indianapolis to California. So, basically, they just had a match where Sami Zayn destroyed The Miz in 4 minutes, hit him with a haluva kick, Blue Thunder Bomb, and pinned him. Cole at one point yelled out, "Folks, Sami Zayn got to win with the Blue Thunder Bomb." So, yeah. Go.
I think it's pretty obvious Sami was winning.
Oh, 100%.
I think both him and Miz are probably going to be in the Rumble most likely.
Oh,
they got to be.
Yeah. So, as far as Saturday night's main event goes, we already talked about this, but they did announce 2 matches officially. Gunther and Jey Uso for the world title. Braun Breaker and Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. Then, out came Rhea. Oh, speaking of Rhea, I Forgot to mention this. When CM Punk was bitching about Seth coming out, he's like, why is this guy coming out? Why couldn't I be interrupted by like Rhea Ripley or something? Why couldn't Rhea come out here and interrupt me? That was funny. So Rhea comes out and declares, well, mommy is back on top. She knew she sounded like a broken record to some. She wanted to remind everybody who forgot that she is Rhea Bloody Ripley. She was, quote, one of the most dominant women in all of WWE. And she was once again the women's world champion. She was then interrupted by SmackDown's Nia Jax, former WWE Women's Champion, and Nia got booed out the building. She informed us that while she was here talking to Adam Pearce about the transfer window. So they're teasing that Nia could be moving to Raw. She said, but she may not need that because she's going to win the Royal Rumble. And then she gets to fight and take whatever title she wants. She said Stratton and Ripley might think they're on top, but Jax was the only woman on top of the division. Jax said, she goes, I also have a few words with you over there, Bayley, who was sitting in the front row. So Bayley jumped up the barricade and into the ring. Bayley confronted Nia. She said that this wasn't her show, no, but it's her city. And then called Nia Jax, quote, a big old dumb idiot. Jackson shoved her down. She also shoved Rhea at one point, but then Rhea got back up and headbutted her. Jackson headbutted Rhea to the ground. Bayley and Ripley then worked together to throw Nia from the ring. Basically, this was like they do every year. They get one of the bigger people and show, oh, it may take more than one person to dump them over the top rope when we're talking about the Rumble. So that's really what this was all about, showing that one person alone can't dump Nia out the ring. So, and they always do this where they get the big person and they show multiple people throwing them out or not being able to throw them out heading into the Rumble. It was an okay segment. Basically just telling us Nia's in the Rumble. Nothing else. Nothing else at all, really, which is kind of weird. They used Rhea for this. Didn't build up nothing, didn't do nothing. Next challenger, no. So kind of weird. Especially when there's 2 shows to build to. Any thoughts?
I kind of think they're probably going to do Nia versus like Tiffany, though, at some point for the belt.
I mean, Nia should get a rematch.
Or less like they do like a number 1 contenders, Nia wins, and she's like, you think you could escape from me, Tiffany?
Technically, they did do that last week on SmackDown, and Bayley won, not Nia.
Chamber.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Ben Miller, Brock was never pulled from the roster page. So how about you take that one?
Oh, yeah. Do you think Brock's going to enter the Rumble?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
People keep thinking he is.
Because they think that, cause you know why? Because people are going to tweet it out and tweet it out and tweet it out. And then if it, for some reason, does happen, oh, look, I was right. I know more than all these podcasters and dirt sheet writers. I know more than these insiders. Look, they all told me Brock was not coming back, but that's why people do that. They post all these things hoping that eventually they're right, because then they can say that they know more. Or you can be like this guy, Fadeaway Media, on Twitter and just post fake shit for engagement and make people think that it's real. He's the one that posted the fake AI Raw logo. He's the one that over the weekend and then deleted it when he got. Posted a fake Penta theme song. He's like, hey, someone leaked Penta's theme on YouTube, and he posted it on Twitter.
That was an AI generated
but
song
here's the
from
thing.
Suno.
No, here's the thing. The way he posted it, he cropped out any description from YouTube because he didn't want people to see where it said in the title AI generated. Because he was trying to get people and try to get them to engage with his tweets to get him followers and engagement and stuff on Twitter. This guy does this all the time. Post fake stuff to get people to hoping, oh, if I post this, it seems real enough, people are going to believe it. And then I know what I'm talking about, and they're going to follow me, and I'm going to get a million views. And yeah, this guy does this all the freaking time. So if you ever see, I'm going to just say it right now. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to say it right now because he does this way too often. Fadeaway Media. on Twitter. Don't even follow him. Don't give him 2 minds. Don't give him nothing. Because most of what he posts, when it comes to like, hey, here's something that's not a clip from a show, it's usually fake. He's the one that got that dumbass AI-generated Raw logo going around. Where he's like, they just showed this on the Logan Paul Mike Tyson broadcast. No, they fucking didn't. I broke that thing down and told you in 2 seconds why it was a fake logo. So, yeah. I usually don't just call him out like that, but it's like, this guy does it so often where I gotta give you guys the heads up. Anyways, next week in Dallas, New Day returns to action. JBL is appearing on the show. Seth Rollins will be taking on Drew McIntyre. So then we go to our main event, and it is only 10 minutes past the top of the second hour, and I go, oh my God, we're getting a sub 3-hour show because this match is not going over an hour. So I was like, this is interesting. Now, during the commercial break, we did see Rey Mysterio, that is, be interviewed about Penta. Basically, he said, this is where Penta belongs. I've known Penta for a long time. I've known that this is where Penta should be. This is Penta's true home, and he's great. She then asked if he had any words for the New Day, and Rey was like, yeah, they're slimy, they're not good guys, and maybe they need to be taught a lesson. So then we go to our main event, and this was just booked so weird. It was 18 minutes almost. It was like 17 and a half to 18 minutes. And it was like half of this match felt like it was stalling. So Priest enters with a kendo stick. Balor's music plays, but he doesn't come out. Instead, he attacks Priest from behind with a kendo stick. Priest then fought him away, and they battled near the announce table as the crowd chanted, "We want tables." Priest gave him a flatliner on the table and chucked him over it. Priest then grabbed a table from under the ring, but Balor attacked him, and they fought into the crowd. Balor hit Priest with the trash can. Priest fought back and hit him hard over the head with the trash can. There was a great spot where Priest gave Balor a Falcon Arrow off of some equipment boxes through tables on the floor. And my first thought was, this looks cool, but we also just saw this on SmackDown. Did you catch the end of SmackDown with Cody and Kevin?
I did not.
So
I was in Disney.
That's right. I forgot. So the main event of SmackDown was Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso against Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Well, during this match, Kevin Owens starts walking down the ramp, and Cody says, "Fuck you, Jimmy," and leaves the ring to go fight KO. Jimmy gets destroyed, beat, pinned. Kevin and Cody start fighting in the crowd, and they end up on some production boxes, just like tonight with Finn and Damian. They fight up there for a minute before Cody tackles Kevin off the production boxes and through 2 tables on the floor. Just like tonight, where they're fighting on the production boxes, but the only difference was Priest gave Balor a Falcon Arrow through the tables. So I'm like, why did we almost get the same spot we got at the end of SmackDown? Crowd popped for it, though. But then they started booing when they realized Finn was being put on a stretcher. They're like, oh my God, is this all we're getting? Because I thought the same thing. I'm like, whoa, is it over already? So Menix put the soft brace around Balor's neck, placed him on the stretcher, and Priest gingerly made his way back to the ring. Adam Pearce, Carlito, and McDonough were there to check on Finn. Go to a break, and when we come back, Priest ran out of the ring and attacked Carlito and McDonough. Priest then hammered away on a helpless Finn Balor who was tied down, strapped to this goddamn board. Priest then untied Balor from the stretcher, rolled him down to the ramp, and it collided with the side of the ring. Balor then rolled right off the stretcher and into the ring. McDonough and Carlito then attacked Priest to help out Finn, who was still in the neck brace. McDonough gave Priest a moonsault. They helped Balor to his feet into the top rope. Balor ripped off the brace and hit a coup de grace. Only got a 2 off of it, though. Carlito and McDonough then set up a table, but out would come the War Raiders to even the odds. Balor hit a sling blade while he was still selling the neck. Balor hit Priest repeatedly with a steel chair. He placed Priest seated on the chair and wrapped a chair around his neck. He looked for redemption from Priest trying to kill him moments earlier. Priest avoided this, hit a drop kick and a South of Heaven for a near fall. No, he avoided the drop kick and then hit the South of Heaven. Priest then tried to go for the Razor's Edge, threw a table on the outside, but Balor slipped out of it. Balor then placed Priest on the table and did coup de grace through it. Priest responded by driving Balor through the barricade. Priest hit the Razor's Edge through a table and a South of Heaven in the ring to pin Finn and pick up the victory. Priest then posed with the crowd and the show ended. The show went roughly 2 hours, at least by my clock, 2 hours and 33 minutes. So, very interesting. Very interesting. And again, there were times in this main event, I kind of got a little bored with it though. What'd you think?
There were some parts in the main event where I got bored. I kind of feel like this main event just made it seem like, okay, now this like whole rivalry between Damian and Finn is now done.
That's what they said last week in the promo package. We're finally going to end it. So, that was Raw. I mean, it was a good Raw. There were parts where I was like, do we need this? Does that really need to be there? But other than that, it was effective. Again, the one thing that was my biggest head scratcher is, what are they doing with Rhea? They're just not going to build up anybody for her. They literally had Rhea come out so Nia can come out and say, I'm going to be in the Rumble. Very weird. But let's get the poll going here on Twitch. What did you think of Raw? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. If you are watching on Twitch, the poll is now live. And as we go check the other polls, oh, okay. Have you seen the tweet that people are talking about from Corey Graves tonight? He sent it out like right after we went live.
Basically, like him complaining why WWE's never cleared him.
Okay, so I'm going to read the tweet. I'm going to pull this up on the screen really fast. Someone just sent this to me and I hadn't seen it yet. Let's pull
Is
this
it still up or did you delete it?
I got the tweet right here. So Corey Graves sent out a tweet that states, quote, imagine chasing your dream, then being told, not deciding, that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life to something, quote, dream adjacent, and being pretty fucking awesome at it. And then, when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough for your own job. Just in case you've wondered where I've been. Look, this guy took a shot at Pat. Kinda. Not really, but kinda. More like Triple H and Nick Khan. But Pat adjacent. Damn.
That's interesting.
Again, saying, being told you're not famous enough to do your own job. That's interesting. Oh my Lord. That's an interesting one right there, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect that one. Because if you know, Corey has been sent back down to NXT. He is now the third man in the booth until he's, quote, needed on the main roster. Basically, when Pat needs to go away for football or is too busy to show up on a Raw. So, yeah. Corey's still there, but he's basically the extra guy now, which is really bad to hear. But with all of that, as far as the polls do go, let's jump back over here. As far as the Threads poll does go, 73% liked the show, 27% thought it was just all right. As we move over here and check the Facebook poll, the Facebook channel poll. I liked it as winning. It was all right is in second, and I didn't like it is in third. As far as the, I did not do a community poll. I don't think I did. Let's see. Nope, I did not do a community poll. I do apologize for that. But as far as the Twitter poll does go, 84% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube live poll, 82% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, Jordan, no, it's midnight, and I still got other wrestling work to do. I got like 3 videos I still got to do from Raw and post this video as audio on Spotify and stuff. So no, ain't got time to play no games tonight. But there is a big Fortnite update coming tonight, so we'll check that out on stream tomorrow. The Fortnite update is supposed to drop at like 4 a.m. Getting everything ready for the Godzilla stuff on Friday or Thursday, one of those 2 days. Anyways, with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21, and you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. We'll see you back here Wednesday for AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage. Have a good one, guys.